Alright, well, first of all, Harley is a madman for doing what he did for me. As you can tell, I'm very much in the early phase of this YouTube stuff. The last video was my first time editing in that sort of style. Some of my older content was like video game funny moments, because me and my friends just have a good time playing games, and much like your groups, have some absolutely hilarious moments.
Oh. No.
Stop!
The portal broke.
Oh, it didn't. Oh.
Yeah, it did.
What did you do?
I was breaking the
Oh
box
my
under.
god! God! Oh god! 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 God!
I don't think he's here.
Obviously fucking not! Stop! Fucking quit! Take your shit out of fucking creative, get back in fucking survival, fucking go to the fucking moon with me! Fly me to the moon and let us play among the fucking stars!
Among Us.
Shut up!
To be fair, I didn't think I would break 100 subs when I wasn't even paying attention. So, for everyone who's here right now, thank you, and welcome to the first 100 Club. I'll try to keep you all in mind as we continue to grow. See, I work a full-time job right now, so outside of this, I can't put my full attention to this just yet, but if you guys give me some time, I'm sure we can push this channel off the ground. 100 might not seem like much to a lot of people, but the sole fact that that sub count went up because of something I did is enough dopamine rush to be grateful. Real quick, I want to tell you guys about the plans I have for this channel. See, my long-term goal is to build a community of like-minded individuals who can all just kind of hang out and, grow friendships. See, unlike some people, I'm in the belief that these mass chats can be hilarious, and some of you guys can come up with some really good and fun ideas. With that out of the way, I can talk about one of the things that was announced during E3. Motherfucking Advance Wars! This shit's mad hype. The last installment of Advance Wars was in 2008 with the DS title Advance Wars Days of Ruin, which took characters we grew to love in the first two games and decided to throw it all away for an edgier story that really just made the fans completely ignore the title. Days of Ruin was actually a North American and PAL release. There were plans to release it in Japan, but it was then cancelled. See, I grew up with a lot of hand-me-down consoles, and one of those just happened to be a Game Boy with a copy of Advance Wars. Of course, me being a dumb kid, I wasn't strategical at all, but I did love it to death. Later on in life, my older brother remembered Advance Wars fondly, and then I was learning about emulation. So I went to the site to go to, Cool ROMs, and was able to download and re-experience Advance Wars. See, my original copy doesn't work anymore, so I couldn't go back to play it even if I tried, but to this day, my original Game Boy is also nowhere to be seen. Beside that point, now I was a couple years older, and I was able to strategize a bit more, and the game just clicked. The aspect of being a commander in this seemingly simple tile turn-based game was just so appealing to me, and all of the pixel art and music just felt so nostalgic. To me, Advance Wars is a game I go back to, I almost want to say yearly, and just really get addicted to. Then of course I would pick up Advance Wars 2, Black Hole Rising, and wouldn't you guess it, get so addicted I would beat the campaign in roughly 2 days. All this is to say, Advance Wars means so much to me. There's just something about this game and its charm and just how in-depth it goes, man. It's so cool. Also, really quick side note here, can I get a quick fuck Nintendo? Because on God, if it was any other company that Nintendo was pulling this shit for $60 out of the box for a remake game, it wouldn't fly with any other consumer base. Because it's Nintendo, we just let it fly, because that's what we're used to. I mean, literally, think about other, remakes. Think about, Assassin's Creed 3 remake. That shit was like $30, $40, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, after quick checking, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered sells new for $40, but we get something like Advance Wars 1-2 Reboot Camp, $60 retail. We get Skyward Sword Remastered, $60 retail. Like, Jesus Christ, Nintendo. Even that one Legend of Zelda game, what was it, A Link to the Past? That resold for $60 retail. This is insane, bro. We let it slide just because it's Nintendo. But speaking of the Switch, it's almost like Nintendo's redoing their golden days, if that makes sense. Releasing fun and innovative games that now grew up to be people's childhoods. For example, an open world Mario game with really smooth and fun movement, a Legend of Zelda game that renovates the franchise, and so many other creative endeavors that are now on the Nintendo platform. But fuck the Switch eShop. Okay, back to Advance Wars. See, Advance Wars is a turn-based strategy game, much like another Nintendo IP, Fire Emblem. Funny fact, the original Advance Wars, otherwise known as Famicom Wars, was released in 1988, which actually precedes the original Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and Blade of Light by nearly 2 years. So, I guess you can say that Intelligent Systems would refine the gameplay with Advance Wars and give a more human element by being able to connect to the individual troops, much like in Fire Emblem. In Fire Emblem, you really have to be careful and care for your troops, because in earlier Fire Emblem games, permadeath was a huge thing. If your individual troop dies and you went out of your way to put them in your main party, level them up, give them the best equipment that you had at the time, and they just up and die because of your mistake, you have no one else to blame but yourself. See, in Fire Emblem, you control their individual moves, and those characters only move on your command, so that permadeath is definitely going to hit hard. But in Advance Wars, your main control comes from being Ko, short for Commander. See, in Advance Wars, your units are very disposable, and you have multiple barracks in which you can spend your currency to make even more troops. On top of that, each commander has their own strengths and weaknesses, which just adds even more depth to this game. So much so that there's a tier list for Kos, because much like in life, some of them are just built differently. With these strategy games, the map and terrain in which you play also plays a big role. When it comes to troop interactions, you have a decently complicated rock, paper, scissors of air troops, sea troops, vehicles, and of course ground troops. Some of which are specialized to deal with one or the other, or deal a bit more damage to another. But on top of that, the terrain in which troops are fighting adds a bit more defense to the incoming attack. Forest being a basic defense versus something like a plains, or, maybe your home base having the most defense. The Advance Wars Reboot Camp looks like it keeps all the original gameplay intact, and of course, that just kind of makes sense. It just enhances the art style. But truth be told, I don't like the new art style they've gone with. I mean, of course, if you're reimagining a game, you're going to find some way to enhance the original graphics, but the sprite work for Advance Wars is just too good to pass up. Like, I understand why when they went to 3D. It's a new trend for old sprite games, but I feel like if they went something along the lines of Octopath, so many more people would be excited to pick it up, and at least to me, would make sense why they would charge $60 retail for it. I mean, come on, look at Max, he's all chin here, but in his original sprite, he looks so good. The multiplayer is going to be super fun because there's been a small community playing this game, and it's some of the most tactical shit I've ever seen. It really puts you in the seat of a commander and takes you on a wild ride. I hope this is enough reason why people are excited to pick this up again, and to all of you who haven't played it before, here's some ways you can try it for yourself. The Wii U Virtual Console has both Advance Wars 1 and 2 for like $8 on the eShop, so that's a great way to start. That, and of course going to your computer and backing up your copy of Advance Wars and playing it like that. So far, that's been my spiel about Advance Wars. I mean, in the meantime, I'm working on 2 other videos behind the scenes, so yeah, I'll start taking care of this channel a bit more. Go play Advance Wars.